God.
Okay.
This is genius.
My response was similar to yours, John. I feel like we
Did he learn nothing from the Coming America reboot?
Right.
I mean,
Very
come
fresh,
on.
very original. Hollywood strikes again. Yeah.
Eddie,
I thought
Eddie.
What do you think of the Coming to America sequel?
Not good.
Yeah, not good at all.
mediocre.
Yeah, no, just not
Mediocre.
good.
It wasn't a disaster. It wasn't blasphemous.
By the way,
but
Beverly
it
Hills
wasn't
Cop,
good.
great movie.
Yes.
Beverly Hills Cop 2, pretty good.
It's okay.
Beverly Hills Cop 3,
Terrible.
paycheck movie.
Yeah,
What is
yeah.
4 going to be?
But I heard you playing Harold Faltermeyer.
Yes.
Playing right now.
The theme song. And,
Yes.
this is the only musical, no lyrics song that ever charted while I was running a radio station. I don't remember another, what do you call it? A musical, just music.
Instrumental.
No, an instrumental. That's
Yes.
right. Only instrumental song that ever charted.
Chariots
for
of
us.
Fire?
No, I don't. That didn't
That was a
chart
huge
like.
hit.
It was not a top 40 radio hit.
Let me look this up.
Didn't
Ben.
play on
Oh,
93
yeah.
QWRQN.
And you also
It
look
did.
up the Mission Impossible theme when it came out when U2 did it. I
Well,
think
that
U2.
does Mission Impossible?
Yeah, U2 did the Mission Impossible theme when Cruise brought the franchise
But with
back.
lyrics or no lyrics?
No lyrics.
No lyrics.
And I think it charted.
Yeah.
If you told me Beverly Hills Cop, I can conjure this in my brain. But when you mentioned Chariots of Fire, instantly know what it is. What am I? Hit me with the Mission Impossible bar or two.
Dun dun dun
Oh,
dun
yeah, yeah,
dun
okay,
dun
okay.
dun dun dun.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
U2.
It was a number one single
What
in
was?
the U.S. Chariots of Fire.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I was not like a adult contemporary station. You wouldn't play that on a top 40 station coming out of.
You want something
coming
edgy
out of
like Harold Faltermeyer?
coming out of Van Halen Jump.
Look at
Let's
Google
go to
the Mission
Chariots of
Impossible
Fire.
theme. See if that ever charted.
Yeah.
But the one U2 did.
Okay.
So we were talking about Eddie Murphy movies, right?
Yes.
And so you got to kick one of these off, right? It's
Yep.
gone.
Okay.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Yep.
Coming to America.
Yep.
Trading Places. 48 hours. One of them's got to go.
Beverly Hills Cop, Trading Places, Coming to America.
48 hours.
I refuse your premise that you cannot get rid of any of
I
those
will
movies.
kick. By the way, I heard you guys talking about this. 48 Hours is
great.
like his.
It's so great.
Where he just explodes onto the
it's
scene.
Yeah, it's
Terrific.
his film
It's
debut.
great. Coming to America, great.
Very
All
funny.
great.
I would
My
go,
son works.
I would go Beverly Hills Cop.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
John, you got to pick.
No, God. I wouldn't. There's no way I'm getting rid of 48 hours.
That's
And
what I
48
picked.
hours.
That's what I
There's-
picked.
Coming
You
to
got rid of
America.
48 Hours?
Trading
Yeah.
Places. I think it's Beverly
Trading,
Hills Cop.
Trading Places is iconic. It's either Beverly Hills Cop. What's the one I'm leaving out?
Coming to
Coming
America.
to
to
America.
No,
America.
Coming to America is
Trading Places.
Trading Places. Coming to America, Trading Places are
48
untouchable.
hours.
So it's either 48 Hours or Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
I'm with Mason.
Yeah.
I'm getting
gonna
rid
kick-
of Beverly Hills Cop.
I'm going to kick Beverly Hills Cop.
Trading Places. If I have
Trading Places.
I think it is, for me at least, it's the most. It's relative. It is the most forgettable of the four, particularly as an
not to
Eddie,
me.
particularly as an Eddie Murphy vehicle. I think it is the most.
Yeah,
forgettable.
that's
Bill
actually-
McDonald and I, when we went to Philadelphia, ran to the front of Duke and Duke so we could take a picture there. Trading Places is for my money. That John Landis Murphy at his peak.
Yeah. I just think when they pick him
By
up
the way,
off his
in
cart.
the jail
It's a
where
miracle.
he says, "Didn't I tell you the phone in my limo was busted and I can't get a hold of my I'll use the word witches."
Yeah.
Didn't I tell you? You know who that is? In the cell with him?
What?
It's Gus Fring, right?
Correct.
Oh!
It's Giancarlo Esposito,
Wow.
who turned out to be one of the biggest badass
Yeah.
villains ever. But he's basically playing a guy in jail with Eddie Murphy
Yeah.
repeating every. Didn't he tell you the phone in his limo was busted? That's Giancarlo Esposito.
By the way, I heard you shout out Dolomite.
Yes.
Which is, if anybody has not seen Dolomite,
I haven't
think
seen
Dolomite
it's,
is my name.
Dolomite is it's on Netflix,
Yes.
right? It is one of Eddie Murphy's best performances.
He's
But wait a
spectacular.
minute, what's the other one he did that's kind of like that, where he's in a movie?
Bowfinger.
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 That's
yeah.
another
Bowfinger's
good.
Very
really
similar.
good.
Very
Yeah.
similar,
But
yeah.
Dolomite is
It's
my
better
name.
than both because I love Bowfinger. Bowfinger's
I
really
think
funny.
Dolomite is better than Bowfinger.
Well, he's the star of this too.
Yeah.
It's
And it's a
good.
really colorful guy he's playing, and yeah, it's really, really fun movie.
Bowfinger has Counterpoint. Bowfinger has Heather Graham.
I love Bowfinger.
Yeah.
Just
Love Bowfinger.
throwing it out there.
Yeah.
These are important.
His face
Yeah.
when she takes off her shirt.
It's an important movie.
You're going to be a big star.
All right, so Bergman was telling me that you guys were talking about.
By the way,
yesterday.
too much Bergman on the show today. I was listening.
No such thing.
It was a lot of Bergman.
He got mad.
I was
at me.
gone.
Yeah, it was a lot of
He
Bergman.
got mad when I wouldn't. What was the question, Berg, about talking to?
Something about my parents.
Yeah, he tried to take the show to a dark place, and we had to.
Oh,
we had to end
God.
that right
It was
there.
going to go very dark.
That's so you.
What's going on with your Starbucks cup in the restroom? What did I miss yesterday?
Oh,
Okay, so this is. I'm glad you brought this up.
yeah, this is a very
Tell
good
me,
topic.
I'm going to present it just facts,
Okay.
and you tell me if you have any issue with any of this. Mason, every day, Mason and I both get Starbucks drinks,
Yep.
and so people know kind of what we get. Mason's is like a red one. Did you
Red,
bring
I
it
get
in today?
Jamaican
I've seen
tea.
it.
I already drank
I've
it.
seen
Yeah.
it, yeah.
All right, so Mason went into the bathroom. We
Yep.
have a bathroom on this floor, and he went into there's one large kind of handicapped toilet
Yeah.
that if nobody's in it, everybody uses.
Yeah.
And then there's two smaller ones. He went in the big one.
Yep.
He put his iced
Gotta
tea
make room
down.
for the laptop.
Correct.
He put his iced tea down on the side, like up against the wall.
Like that bar, that goes
Yeah.
around. Sets it there.
I've
Did
got
his
the picture.
did his business.
Okay.
Forgot the iced tea. Mm-hmm. Funchess, half an hour later, goes in, uses the same stall, sees it, and goes, "Oh, Mace must have forgot his drink. I'll take it to him."
Can I
Funch,
interrupt
do
here?
have this right?
I did not use a stall yet.
Okay.
I saw the drink.
So you saw the drink.
I saw your
didn't
drink. I
use
saw the drink,
stall.
and it said, said Steve on it, and it was a pink drink. And
Yeah.
I know you drink the pink drink,
Yes,
so I said
yes.
Mason left his drink in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Came back, dropped it off,
So
and then went back.
Funch, being a good Samaritan,
Yeah.
drops it off. Mason immediately drinks out of it. Bergman, horrified by this,
Yeah,
because he
overreacting.
fears. No editorial comment yet.
Oh, okay.
He fears, Bergman, that drink has somehow been contaminated in some way. Is that fair, Greg?
Absolutely.
Okay.
In the
Trav,
particles in
any
the air.
issue with Mason taking a sip out of the drink?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Yes.
No.
Okay.
I'm a firm yes.
Are you?
Yes.
Andy?
Yeah, I'm on
Andy,
Team Travis.
whose side are you on?
What do you know? No. Full disclosure, I had zero issue with Mason taking. Okay, I'll give you another one. I left this here yesterday. Okay, I just forgot to take it. I know it's around where I had it yesterday. I'm assuming no one has touched it. Would you have a problem if I drank out of this
No,
right now?
I would not.
What's
Yeah.
the difference?
Because people
Yeah,
aren't
what's the
using the
difference?
bathroom in here.
Yeah,
But wait a minute, Trav, are you telling me?
I mean, this is not
You're telling me
complicated.
that the
No, no.
contamination
Look how skinny
will
the
go
straw
in
is.
the top of the straw.
You know.
Starbucks has the skinniest straws. They are protective.
It's not a straw diameter issue.
What
no,
is
it's
it?
like a
No.
quarter
What
inch
is the
diameter.
issue?
It's a people or monsters issue. Okay.
So do you think someone has taken a sip out of it?
No, I think that anything that is left in a toilet,
Public restroom.
Yeah.
okay, that why people use the toilet is right there, and there are a lot of really monsters. No one's coming in
It's
here.
not
and
like
doing
it was
something-
there all day.
I understand, but if it's there for more than. If you got back
It was
here,
30
It only
minutes.
takes
30 minutes,
one
30
monster.
minutes.
if you went there and came, forgot my drink, and went back and got it, I don't have a problem with it. I have a problem with. Few people probably went through that stall in the time that it got brought back to you.
Maybe,
All
I
it
don't-
takes is one really dark, dirty soul to do something to that
Wait, you
drink.
think somebody would
Like,
sabotage
for example,
the drink?
I
For
think it's
example,
possible.
What would this person said that you're worried about? What?
Like
give me an
drop
example.
Drop a Mickey in there?
He's
Maybe
going to
not a
try and
Mickey.
pee into the top of the
no.
straw.
What-
I
Mace is
couldn't
gonna
even hit
fade
that if I
halfway through
tried.
Are we really turning this into like frat house stuff? Because I'll tell you what my problem is.
Yeah, no, go
Okay,
ahead. I lived in a fraternity for 3 years.
You don't walk into the stall to take a leak, right?
Right.
Right? You use the
Okay.
urinal.
I often do it.
I'm with you.
Okay,
I'm
It's a
with
big
you.
target.
Yeah.
But let's say chances
splash.
are,
There's much
chances
less
are
splash.
someone in that 30 minutes went in there to do something
Yeah.
other than
Right.
number one. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
He
Right?
did other than number one. He was already in there,
But it
not
says-
doing number one.
But it
my
says
team.
drink.
I'm not worried about you
doesn't
self-contaminating.
matter.
It's my own personal drink.
So
It's
gross.
some
It's
guy
so gross.
that is having. He's just a bad guy. He comes in there and says, I'm gonna put a little something on the side of that cup.
Who would do that?
Have
What's
you
the
guys
purpose of
never-
doing that?
Have you guys never looked at the
No,
news?
what's the
ever?
purpose of sabotaging an abandoned cup?
Because people are terrible. People are disgusting.
you think somebody would
This is
just
the
monsters.
second time
Hock
in
a
2
loogie
weeks
in
that
there
I've
for
determined
fun?
you
Okay.
have no faith
You just
in
asked,
society.
No,
you just
I don't.
asked what the
Well,
purpose
Nate,
for...
Yeah.
while you were gone, Travis and I got into this.
Speaking of John,
Okay,
so
let me tell this one story. You can update it.
Okay.
So
There
Travis,
is an update.
Travis says, I love the street I live on, particularly because I love my neighbors. I have great
Okay.
neighbors.
Got it.
Travis's neighbor did him a favor last week, and then Trav felt awkward because the guy wanted to have a conversation. Well, what was the favor he did for you, Trav?
So we had a leak in our sprinkler system.
Yep.
And I couldn't figure out how to get the water off to the sprinklers while leaving the water onto the house. Mm-hmm. Apparently there's a special sprinkler valve that I didn't know exist. He go, hey, no, you got to throw this switch.
Okay.
So
nice job.
He was just standing there making. So you're Travis, right? You do like a radio show at ESPN, and Travis is like, yeah.
No. That's not what it is. We've lived next to each other for 7 years. Okay, we've been.
But you wanted out of this conversation as quickly as possible.
That's
right?
true. That's true. But it's always conversations that are about the bushes, about the trash cans left on the street from our neighbors. It's all the stuff that I really could do.
This guy saved your yard from getting flooded. You can't have a 5-minute conversation.
You just
with
blew him
him
off. Is that right?
No,
he tried.
Stormed off.
No.
Stormed off.
Made up a phone call.
I did not. Well, we're getting warmer.
Hello. All right, now what's the update?
So what I did before was more like, shoot, I forgot. I need to go in. Thank you so much, and I pulled the ripcord.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ghosted him.
I'm driving home yesterday.
Oh no.
Pull onto my street. He's out front. It's the first time I've seen him since this, and I have no idea if he listens or not. He might. I don't know.
Okay.
He always will kind of hang out and wait for me to get out of my car and we'll chit chat for a minute or two. Not yesterday. Straight into the house.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, this got back to him.
It got back to him.
Now you've made a situation that was tenable, untenable.
Now this is totally, by the way, on Susan, your wife.
How so?
Jello mold, bundt cake. You want to send something over
if
there?
I'm Susan, I am not helping you. You fix this. You created this problem. You fix it.
This is my fault.
You have to overcompensate.
I'll say this to your point.
Yes.
We have a rule, and it's not really my rule. It's Juan's rule. He doesn't want to know any of the neighbors.
I knew I liked Juan.
He doesn't. He's like, we want to be left
not?
alone. He doesn't want to know the neighbors. I'm like, I don't know.
I know all my neighbors. I know all their kids.
You're way too far the other way. Yeah. I want to be friendly with them, but I don't want to be friends. Does that make sense?
Yes, completely makes sense. Like, I'll wave when I see him. Hey, whoever you are, nice to see you.
Lon's looking good.
Yeah.
Well, and
part of the reason part of the reason why I think I'm overly friendly is, as you guys know, most of you guys have met my son Jack, who's a special needs kid. He has no filter. All right. So he's 20 now, but he grew up on this street.
He's 20 now?
Yeah.
Wow.
So if you were coming over to my house, Trav, and you parked in, I gave you the address and you parked, Jack would walk right up to you and he'd go, "Who are you?"
Okay.
And you would go, "I'm Travis. I'm friends with your dad." Travis, is this your car? Yeah.
Okay. He wants the details.
Yeah. He wants he'll ask you 15 questions, and he's done it to everyone on the street.
And here's the thing, by the way. He remembers.
Yeah, and he'll remember what you drove. He'll remember your wife's name. These kids have and so I feel like I at least owe these people the utmost kindness because my son has
Look, I'm not defending my way of life. Okay. I'm just saying that this is the way that I am. Accept me, warts and all.
Yeah.
I want to say.
But now this guy is ducking you and going into the house.
Because this is all
created an awkward situation.
I feel like I kind of got what I wanted.
I think you should.
But it's not what Susan wants, and now it's awkward.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's true. You got the fixed sprinklers and a neighbor that will never speak to you.
I'm going to check it. I'm going to chalk it up to a very timely coincidence. If it happens 2 times in a row,
it's going to happen.
It's
going to happen again.
We'll see. Maybe like Danny's point. I'll have to. Hey, how are you doing?
Bottle of scotch.
Right.
Yeah.
I actually feel like you played your cards perfectly.
Thank you.
You just need to see who around your neighborhood can fix other stuff. Bring them in one time.
Yeah,
shine
one time.
Them. One by one, you eliminate all these people.
That is for sure. It's not.
Plus, Trev, but being a good neighbor is like I've never on our street. Like, you would never need to buy anything. Like, the other day, somebody sent a group. We have a group text on our street. Somebody said, "I got a flat tire on my bike. Does somebody have a bike pump?" Yeah, I got one. All right, come on, boom. Same thing. Being a good neighbor.
But don't you want some
sense
of privacy at your house?
No, Mace,
see, I do. I want some sense of privacy.
So the scenario that you if I were on, big if, the group text on my street,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, and if somebody said, "Do you have a bike pump?" I have a bike. I would say, absolutely, let me leave it out front for you.
Wait a minute, you wouldn't like...
And I would be happy to loan them my pump, but what I don't want is Hey, thank you for the pump. How about those Rams?
Yeah.
How about those Lakers? How about my grass?
Come
How about
on,
my
man.
trees? It feels performative. It's not like
Yeah,
we're
no, it is
trying to get to
performative.
know
You do
each
get
other.
put in that position a lot with this job. But
even if I used a bad example, let's just say it was, well, how about this? Well, it's going to be 100 degrees this weekend. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. By the way, did you see
I
the
don't have to do
kickoff
that.
at the Rose Bowl? It's supposed to be 102.
Are you still not going?
Still going to see the Trojans.
Well, at least with the Trojans, they play later in the day. I think that's a 3:30 kick.
That 12:30
So
kick at the
Mason's
Rose Bowl.
second half will be bearable.
Is it 11:30 kick?
Yeah.
Yeah,
11:30.
11:30 for
that
UCLA.
Is 4 hours
bad deal.
of just
Dead sun.
Yep.
right.
Dead. So I go to the Rose Bowl every year. You guys know that's kind
Yeah,
of our family
sure.
thing that we do. That's a 2:00 kick. And the first hour and a half of that, and that's in January, you're just staring into that sun.
Right.
An 11:30 kick in August, or I guess it would be September by then. No thanks.
Yeah.
It's projected temperature 102.
Mason and Ireland coming up next. Super Crosstalk is brought to you by Coors Light, keeping Southern California chill all season long.
What's going on, people? I'll tell you what, John, yesterday, it's a very, very big day. I went and had my first personal training session.
Oh, how'd that go?
I had it was really hard. It was really
male
hard.
or female trainer?
It's this guy named Trinidad, and he has no idea who I am, and it is partly refreshing,
right?
And partly, I'm like, how do you not know who I am?
Of course, I would expect nothing less out of you.
So I'm not sure which I would like better.
Did you show him? When you realized he didn't know who you were, did you break out one of your naked pictures under a waterfall?
I just played the podcast really loud. Here's who I am. Jorge, what's your name?
Screw you, that's my name.
Exactly. So I got another wedding invitation, Ireland.
All right, from
Is
who?
this one yours or
no?
mine?
That one's you. I just did one.
We want to congratulate Karen and Javier on their marriage. It is coming up on the September the 22nd, and we will be sending a gift. Don't forget, you can mail us your wedding invitations. We will not show up.
We will not attend, but we
we'll
will
always
give
send
you something off your registry.
Candlesticks.
Make a nice
like
gift.
that.
Yeah. Well, what did I get? Lindsay Theory that she admitted she would have rather had money. Floating candles.
Votive candles.
Yeah. She was
By the
very
way,
nice about
I had
it.
Robert Wall on my podcast. Do you know that candlesticks make a nice gift was an ad lib?
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
It sounds like exactly something he would do.
And Ron Shelton, who did that movie, did Bull Durham, did a bunch of movies, he has a book out that you should check out.
Okay, I
called
will.
Temple of
Because
Baseball.
I'm friends with his nephew Ben.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, who and Ben and Ron are working on a lot. Ben's the one who told me about Coda. The movie Coda that won Best
Wait
Picture.
a minute, how did I not tell you about Coda?
He's working on a project with Marlee Matlin, and so he knew about it before it came out.
Yeah,
and he goes, "Hey," he actually mentioned you. He said, "You and Mason are going to love this movie." Coda.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
So good.
It's really good.
So, hey, tonight, how about this? Little Dodgers Mets.
Yeah. Now, okay, I know you guys are like not the least bit worried. This is the team that worries me.
Whoa. I think the Dodgers can lose to the Mets. I think they can lose to the Braves. I think they can lose to anybody in a short series.
Now wait a minute. If they get a bye, does that not eliminate short series, or is the
5-game? You go to a 5-game series,
even with a bye?
Yeah, even with a bye, you go to a 5-game and then a 7-game for the NLCS. And here's the thing: the Mets are really good.
Yeah, this Mets team scares me because of their pitching. Now, they would, like the Dodgers, they would need to get everybody healthy. Like DeGrom and Scherzer would need to be healthy. But if
we're not going to see Scherzer, by the way, in this series. Game 1 is tonight. It starts right after our show. It's Heaney versus Taijuan Walker. Game 2 is DeGrom tomorrow night versus Tyler Anderson. And then Game 3 looks like bullpen game for us versus Chris Bassett, who's been really good. Oh, what do you...
It's either going to be...
Did they name a starter?
No, they haven't named it yet. It's either going to be Clayton Kershaw or Dustin May.
Oh, wow.
So
Kershaw could come back.
Yes, one of them is going to pitch Thursday. The other is going to pitch Friday against the Padres.
And here's the thing. It's great to win all these games. We're going to win, what? We're on pace to win 114 games or something like that, which would be the most in Dodgers franchise history and all that stuff.
Well, you realize they've got a shot at the all-time record. They've got a shot at 117. With the all-time record is 116 by the Mariners in, I think, 2001.
They went out in the playoffs, by the way.
Right. But the Dodgers have I think Greg, it's changed since then, but at one point they had to go 31-8 in order to pull it off.
Yeah, I believe
think now it's down
28-9.
Yeah,
like
they've got a reasonable chance.
Yeah.
So they could be. There's an article right now in The Athletic asking the question: is this Dodger team, this one we've watched,
the greatest team of all time?
Right. Statistically, you can actually make that argument.
Well, and I think, if you think of it this way. I think that article, and I read that article because you sent it, it's sort of like this run of this team. So, like, the Dodgers are on the verge of their 400-win-plus season in the last 5 years. 4 of the last 5 years. And that's a level of dominance that this guy points out. His name is Sam Fells from Deadspin. Says that hasn't been done since...
Deadspin, not The Athletic.
Yeah,
yes.
That one's like hasn't been done since the 40s in the St. Louis Cardinals. So it really is historic. And
Bergman, I got an update. Remember last week when we were saying, Mace, we'll do this with you because we didn't do this with you. We were trying to figure out the Dodgers postseason roster because it's somebody good is getting left out.
Yes.
Greg, I didn't know this until I went to a party, and the guy who's who does the chapel for the Dodgers, the minister was there.
Sure.
And I said, we're trying to figure out the 25-man roster for the postseason. He goes, it's 26 now.
Yeah, 26 now.
Oh, they moved it up.
It's 26 for the regular season, too, right?
I believe so.
So right now, Mace, the 3 odd people out that we determined if we put everybody in that we think is going to be in were Phil Bickford, David Price, and Chris Martin. Now, that's when we thought there were 25.
I'll tell you what, Chris Martin was great last night.
Okay,
Chris Martin's in.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
I think Chris Martin gets the 26th spot. Now, okay, Mace, tell me.
What, I think you're missing something. I don't think it's a guarantee that our closer is on the postseason roster.
Do you think Craig Kimbrell could be
Craig Kimbrell could be off the roster altogether.
I think you put him on it. You may not pitch him a lot.
But why have him if you're not going to pitch him?
The way we figured it was 13 position players, 12 pitchers, since you have the 3 batter rule.
Right.
Okay. So the 12 pitchers were the 13 position players are exactly who you think they were.
Yeah.
All the starters plus Austin Barnes, Hanser Alberto, Gavin Lux, Trace Thompson, and Joey Gallo.
Yes.
Okay,
good.
that's 13.
I'm good with that.
Okay. Then the pitchers. Kershaw, Urias, Gonsolin, Anderson, May, Phillips, Vesia, Trinan, Heaney, Ferguson, Gratterall, Kimbrell is 25, and now Chris Martin would be 26. It leaves off Phil Bickford and David Price. You okay with that?
Okay. So here's what I genuinely think about this. I watched last night Craig Kimbrell again struggle.
I'm with you. I would have no problem with that. I just don't think they'll do it.
It's either closer or you're not on the roster. If he doesn't figure it out, and by the way, they still have a few weeks to see if he figures it out. I'm starting to question.
Let me play your question out to the end.
Yes.
If it's not Kimbrell as your closer, who is it?
It's either Evan Phillips or Blake Trinan.
Maybe Martin.
I don't think Martin. I think. Don't you think Evan Phillips or Blake Trinan? Greg?
Yeah, it's one of those. It's probably Trinan.
Okay, now we threw this out there. I don't know if you want to do this because he's coming off of Tommy John surgery. But everybody says Dustin May's stuff is the nastiest on the team right now. Could you put Dustin May into the role Julio Urias took in the year they won the title?
Okay.
2020. In other words, it's a little risky because you'd be pitching him every day, but you'd only be pitching him 2 or 3 innings.
Here's the thing. I'm tired of, and we saw this last year, effing around with the pitchers. This year, I don't want any effing around with the pitchers. I don't want to see Max Scherzer, like last year, Max Scherzer come in to close a game. I don't want to see. I want Dustin May in the rotation.
No, hold on. So who are you taking out? So you only have room for 4.
Okay, so I'm going
Kershaw, Urias, Gonsolin, Anderson are the 4 right now. Are you taking Anderson out and putting
I'm taking
May
Anderson out and using him as a long reliever.
Yeah, then you're
but
fine.
I wouldn't close with him.
Well, I wouldn't close with May.
Okay.
I'm using him in the K-Rod role when he pitched for the Angels when he set up for Troy
remember,
Percival.
Urias was on the mound when we actually won the World Series.
And they let him pitch 4 innings.
But I don't want to see that. Okay, let's
except if it's Tyler Anderson.
Let's bring this. No, but he's not going to be in the rotation. Tyler Anderson. So you can use him any way you want. What I'm saying is,
why not use Dustin May any way you want?
I don't want to all of a sudden see our Game 2 starter come in out of the bullpen at the end of a game and then screw up his next start the way it worked with Scherzer last year.
One of these 5 players is going to the bullpen.
Yeah.
Kershaw, Urias, Gonsolin, Anderson, May. All right, so that's fine, but then you're messing around with the pitchers. You're taking a guy who's started all year and making him a long reliever.
But you understand what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't want the guy who starts in Game 1 to come in and close in Game 4. Stop effing around with pitchers and their daily routines.
But Bergman, with Dustin May's stuff, I mean, he's throwing 98-mile-an-hour cutters.
It's insane.
Maybe you use that guy in a setup role, and so you can pitch him more than once every 5 days.
I need him in the starting rotation. I'm with Mace here. I need to see him, and I would actually probably put him, depending on who they're playing, 3rd, 4th, 2nd. I would move him to wherever he needs to be.
Well,
he is one of the best pitchers they have.
Yeah, I have no problem with you putting him 2nd because I wouldn't mind having a veteran, either Kershaw or Urias, pitch Game 3.
Urias is Game 1.
Urias, I think, is Game 1.
I would agree with you. Unless Gonsolin wins Cy Young, then you kind of got to give him Game 1, don't you?
No.
He wins the Cy Young award. You don't give him Game 1.
Completely. I mean, let's be honest. Not proven.
Well,
Urias in the postseason is proven.
Wait a minute.
Urias in the postseason is proven.
Cy Young is about as proven as you can get.
But I'm thinking about playoff numbers. Tony Gonsolin is not traditional. Well, I mean, in his short sample size, has not been good in the playoffs. I like to see October pitching from a guy, and to know he can pitch at that altitude.
It may resolve itself. Gonsolin's on the injured list. He may stay there. Then May and Anderson go to the rotation.
But to be clear, yesterday it came out that they're expecting Gonsolin to miss just 2 starts, and as Greg pointed out, Kershaw is expected to throw on Thursday or Friday. So we're getting healthy at exactly the right time. All right, coming up next for you, John, I had a hair affair. Did I tell you about this?
No.
Oh, yeah, I had a hair affair.
Why do you have great hair? What are you talking about?
It's over. I'll explain it.
Okay.
Coming up next. Plus, somebody emailed me, now I'll say it again, tweeted me about our conversation yesterday about Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks with Bojan Bogdanovic.
Well, it's changed after what happened today.
Okay, we'll talk about that coming up next, too. Mason, Ireland, 7. Stretch goal. What I want is for us to have the biggest cover 5.
I'm signing up right. Oh wait, I have to sign up for an account.
I guess it would be a league, right? Cover 5 league. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to win $100 for picking 5 games against the spread, go there, and we just downloaded it. Download the Cover 5 app for free. Chance to win $100, and what you got to do is download the Cover 5 app and use code MI22 to join our league. If you want more information, you can go to cover5.com. And it's all self-explanatory, right? And we'll get into it a little bit more next week when we got real football games to talk about. But the Cover 5 app, unbelievably cool. Download it in your app store today.
Yeah, if you win $100 if you win the week, and then you get to do Bobcat for a day if you win the whole thing. If you win
the whole season.
Yeah, the whole season, which is pretty cool.
That is cool. That is cool.
Come in studio, sit with Mason in Ireland.
Yeah.
Pretty big deal. Maybe it'll be on a lit day.
Ireland's still like, okay, I got to download.
No, it won't let me do it. Oh, here, I'll tell you later.
Okay. So John, I announced on the show, and he heard about it, about 6 months ago that I was going to quit going to the guy that cuts my hair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Name is Sasha. So I go and I just start shopping for barbers in my neighborhood, people who are close. And, John, the end result, I just want to show you, look at this.
Okay.
This is what I have wound up with.
You have a lot of hair.
Way too much hair.
Yeah.
So
why don't you just go to Supercuts?
I had a hair affair. Now I'm going back to Sasha because he knew what he was doing all along.
What does it matter if you're wearing a hat every day?
Yeah, I was going to say, I haven't seen you not in a hat in like 6 months.
Well, I usually don't wear a hat when I go to games. That's
Yes,
one
you
place I
do.
don't wear. No, not when I go to
When
a
you
game.
go to a Dodger game, you're wearing a hat.
Oh, Dodger game, yeah.
When you go to a Rams game, you're wearing a Rams hat.
Not
he's
wearing
not.
a Rams
No?
hat. No.
I visited
Why?
plenty
Jorge
of times.
see me. I don't wear a
What's the
Rams
difference
hat.
between a Dodger game and a Rams game?
I don't know. A hat can be kind of
You go to a Laker game, you're wearing a hat?
no.
Well, that's more of like a thing.
Yeah,
You
that's
need
more,
to
that's
look-
that's
indoors.
more of a thing.
Yes.
And when I go to a USC game, I'm not wearing a hat. I did get a new USC shirt though.
Oh, boy.
What?
Can I see it?
Yes, I'll
Is
show it to you
Is it
tomorrow.
old school again?
It is very.
Does it look like it's from the 70s?
I gotta tell you, it really is.
Yeah, I was afraid of
It's
that.
one of those.
You have a
button-up-
unique ability to find things that are completely outdated, even though they're new.
It's one of those button up
Oh, no.
with like USC designs on it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, come
You
on.
need an NIL.
Be as cool as your hat yesterday.
My hat was awesome yesterday. Stop it.
No, DeMarco's hat was awesome.
DeMarco's was.
Yeah.
I have DeMarco's hat too.
Well, so
I
where'd
ordered
that go?
both of them.
That one's cool.
Yeah,
The camouflage.
All right. The other thing we were going to do here is what? I teased something else.
I thought no, you didn't. You teased your hair.
Just the hair. Okay, then let's do this. We got this. Okay, this is a good story. So Lou Holtz said yesterday that he used to write Brian Kelly letters when Kelly was the head coach at Notre Dame, but he never got a response. I want to play you what Lou Holtz actually said. And Jorge, maybe you have that for me because I cannot find it. I don't. That's the one. Oh, here it is.
I wrote Brian Kelly maybe 8 positive letters during his time at Notre Dame. And I go to the mailbox every day hoping I'm going to find an answer. He never responded to one of them. So, but that's his choice. I answered every letter that came into Notre Dame. When you get a nasty letter, you write, "Dear Jim, just thought you ought to know that some idiot's writing this letter, signing your name, and hurt your reputation. I'd find out who it is and put a stop to it." But Brian Kelly didn't believe in that. And I'm sure he'll be very successful at LSU. He's been everywhere. But he's going to find out he's not going to be playing Toledo. He's not going to be playing Marshall. This conference is a little bit different.
All right, so here's a true story. My grandfather, huge Notre Dame fan,
Okay.
wrote letters all the time to Notre Dame.
Okay.
And I am in possession of the letters that Lou Holtz or his secretary wrote back to my grandfather. And my grandfather would send things like, I really don't like that. I think your secondary is terrible, and there's a kid at Altoona High School you should look at. It was
Right.
that kind of
Right.
Lou Holtz would always respond back. So there is something to be said for that. Now, when was the last time you actually received a letter? This is really old school. A letter in the mail. Other than junk.
No, occasionally somebody will write a letter to the station and say,
We get
like,
those.
yeah,
Yeah, we get
hey, so probably not that long ago.
But
maybe.
at home, have you ever gotten a letter lately?
No, I'll get an email or
Christmas cards. I'll get a
Yeah.
few Christmas cards.
yeah, Chris.
That's
We
one
get like
thing.
100.
Do you really?
Yeah,
How do you get 100?
we know a lot of
You
people.
know so many people.
Yeah.
Bergman, when's the last time you got a letter in the mail?
My mom sends me Father's Day cards.
Oh,
I
that's-
might get a birthday card.
Wait, your mom sends them to you, but
Yeah.
Riley doesn't?
No, she writes cards for me and gives them to me.
All right.
Okay.
very
Jorge, what
sweet.
about you? Anything in the mail?
No, not
Mail
recently.
is like super old school. When I was probably as recently as 10, 15, I was here. And I would get a birthday card every year from my grandmother with $5 in it. And I was working here on Mason and Ireland, and I would get this card with $5 in it. I thought it was the sweetest sentiment to send $5. So that's the way we were rolled in my family. So, but I do think there's something to be said for a personal letter. Like, for example, I wrote a letter to a former employer who had fired me. hand wrote a letter. There's still something to that. Handwriting thank you notes after wedding gifts, that kind of stuff. A letter does carry some weight. So, yeah, I think there's something to be said for it. And Lou Holtz was definitely in the school of I'm going to respond to every letter, even if I'm just signing something that my secretary wrote.
I wonder how many letters are. I mean, it used to be that's how recruiting got done.
Yeah, right.
But now it's got to be.
Imagine?
Now it's got to be texting and email. Right?
Texting, email, hell, Lane Kiffin, Twitter.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that's how they roll. All right, coming up next, we're going to spin the wheel of questions. Also, John, I want to tell you about a woman who had lost her sight and got married. Okay. It's a really interesting story. It's a very interesting conundrum. We'll do that. Plus, Adam Schefter is out there promoting something disgusting. We'll tell you what that is. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN. Hey, is your vehicle due for service? Head into your neighborhood Valvoline Instant Oil Change Home with a 15-minute drive.
It's time for Wheel of Questions. Wheel of Questions is presented by our friends at Puente Hills Toyota. Got a car that's just sitting around not being used? Bring it to Puente Hills Toyota today for an instant cash offer. Puente Hills Toyota, the house of yes. Producer Jorge, are you ready with that wheel? Hit it.
All right, it is my wheel today, and okay, this is a good question. Which one of spring, summer, autumn, or winter would you choose for the rest of your life?
Summer.
Summer. Now think about what's going on in the summer.
Right. Nothing.
That's what you want.
Yes.
you want the time of year nothing's going on.
I want to be. I want to be at a beach. I want to be at a resort. I want to be. That's the only time I'm allowed to take vacation.
Wait
you
a
take
minute.
vacation all year.
Well, I take vacation definitely in August, but
in January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August,
by the way,
September, October,
I don't
November.
have any dates till December.
Do you want to bet me any amount of mythical money you will miss a show before December?
2 days in October, set. 1 day in at Thanksgiving.
Well, so that's 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah.
But Thanksgiving, I mean, it's
Right.
okay. So, Jorge, what season?
I was
for
going
you?
to say winter, but then John's answer just summer. Summer's the right answer.
Bergman?
I think summer is. I was going to go winter also because I love the snow.
Are you guys crazy?
No, it's summer.
I love the fall.
Well, fall you get football.
Correct. You get
Yeah.
football. You get the baseball playoffs. You get the start of the NBA season. Who doesn't want the fall? It's the best time of year.
So much good stuff in summer, though. The beach, it's nice
And
out.
by the way, you can go anywhere in the summer. Like
It's true.
Like
True.
it's
Nighttime
not
later.
freezing ass cold
Right,
in New
but
York
I mean,
City in the summer.
Look, we just went through a summer where we're talking about, like all kinds of weird. We don't have games. We got the Dodgers, and that's really it. I'm thinking about the show, man. I love the fall. Bring on football.
when you guys were both here, the show was great because we were just having fun.
yeah, but that in the summer, we're not here a lot.
No, you guys
Yeah.
are gone a lot.
Yeah, we are gone a lot.
So maybe
So-
that's why I like it.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
At least he said it here.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't on a different show this time. It was.
Don't say it with.
I've learned, Jorge. I've learned.
I don't want to hear that on Shadano and Cappy. All right, so
Well,
John.
they're not here either.
Yeah, that's right. They're not here either. You know what's interesting? So the new fall season is starting on Tuesday. Do you hear Morales talking about the new fall season of the station?
Okay.
Remember how networks used to have a new fall season?
Yeah, now nobody watches
Here's a new
networks anymore.
show, and here's a new show, and here's a new show. So for the new fall season, it feels like we should start doing something new.
Such as? Well, no, we always do anyway. We like Matthew Berry comes on a lot in the fall.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
We do a lot of gambling talk in the fall.
I got to get a hold of Matthew Berry.
We do. I mean,
He's
we do
big
a lot,
time.
We do a lot of different stuff in the fall. The Lakers and the Rams are up and running in the fall, and
You know, Matthew Berry is going to be on the field for the opening game against the Bills and the Rams.
I think, if I read this correctly, he's going to be a part of Sunday Night Football every week.
Yeah.
So he's going to be on the pregame show.
Big time. Big time.
Yeah.
All right, so woman regains sight after going blind, okay? This is Sophia Cora. She was 18. She woke up, found she'd lost vision.
Okay.
She went on to attend college at Adams State University, where she met Christian Cora, who they eventually got married. He even helped her to raise $20,000 for the surgery to help repair her vision.
Now, wait, so she had sight, lost
sight,
and now
met this guy,
Okay.
married this guy at college, but still has never seen him. So she had an operation on her
wait a
eye.
minute. They dated and got married when she was blind.
Correct.
Okay.
Then she regained her sight.
Uh-oh. How's it going now?
So what do you think happened?
They split up.
No. She said, very handsome, love them all the same.
Wow.
But what if what if he wasn't good looking? What?
Yeah, she's out.
After that guy helped her with raise money for the surgery and all that. There's no way she could turn her back on him, could she?
Sure she could.
Oh God.
Particularly in L.A.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
girls do it all the time.
Come on. He paid for eye operation.
I know. I'm not saying he deserved it. He sounds like a great guy, but, girls are, they're into looks.
She's been blind for 10 years.
Yeah, but maybe she needs a rosy hue.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
God, you're so cynical. You're such a cynical person. I am such an idealist, and you are such a cynic.
Well, it depends what
That's
we're
the
talking
difference
about.
between the show. I'm idealistic,
No.
and you're cynical.
Politically, I'm idealistic, and you're cynical. You don't think, I live in the West Wing world where the Republicans and Democrats will come together for the good of the country. Right. See, you're cynical. But when it
in
comes
that
to
area,
matters of the heart,
I'm
love,
idealistic.
You think that people get married all the time for love.
Right. Oh, God. Here we go. Ireland does a stupid little dance.
Yeah, you're the most naive person ever when it comes to this.
No, I'm
when you
definitely
see
not.
an old fat guy with a hot young girl, why do you think she married him?
Oh, well, I mean,
Love,
obviously that
Love,
guy.
right, Greg? Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm not.
Love.
Look,
I'm married for love.
Wait a minute. I'm not
He's
saying
got
it doesn't
pocket
happen. I'm not
personality.
saying it doesn't happen.
Especially in Los Angeles, it happens daily.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I just think I don't admire it.
Well, that's fine. I think
I like the people.
I'm not saying you made this choice
right.
personally.
But look,
the one is a lot better looking than you.
If you were on the loose, yes, he is. If you were on the loose, would you date a 20-year-old?
Of course. If I could convince her. I mean, why wouldn't
50 and 20?
Of course.
That's past the age limit.
I'm closer to 60. Thanks for the 50.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I gave you 50.
You gave me 10 years.
Oh, 60 and 20.
Yeah, I mean, like,
come
I
on.
worship at the chapel of Dr. Buss. He dated 20-year-olds his whole life.
Yeah, he did. You're right about that.
Did you guys know, by the way, until you watched... You haven't caught up on
No, not
Legacy
caught up on
yet.
Legacy.
So, in the last episode of Legacy, and if you guys want to get this more in depth...
It's episode 4. I'm in the middle of episode 2. I watched 1.5
So
last
in
night.
episode 4,
Yep.
and all the kids, Jeanie and Johnny and Jim, all talk about this.
Yep.
When Bum Bright, the owner of the Cowboys, in 1988 said, I'm having financial problems, the team is for sale.
Right.
The person that bought them was Jerry Jones.
Right.
Okay. The person in first position was Jeanie Buss.
Meaning in first position, offering the most money?
Correct.
Wow.
And the reason, according to Legacy, that Dr. Buss didn't get the Cowboys is somebody wrote an article. You know, the Cowboys in Texas are like...
Religion.
Right. Literally.
Literally
They
religion,
think,
yeah.
They think, like, the oldest joke in the book is, why is there a hole in Cowboy Stadium? So God can watch his
There you
Cowboys
go.
play?
Yep.
So somebody wrote an article about how... Basically, the gist of the article was, Bum Bright can't sell America's team to this playboy, Jeanie Buss.
Yep.
And ran all these pictures of Dr. Buss partying with
all these,
20-year-olds.
yeah.
And they basically did a PR number on him, and Bum Bright said, yeah, it's like a trust down here in Dallas. I got to put him in the hands of somebody who doesn't have your baggage.
Yep.
And, you know, obviously Dr. Buss wasn't going to change his lifestyle. But according to Legacy, and this is on Hulu, if you guys want to watch it, the reason Jeanie Buss, he had the money,
right.
He had the loans, he had it all set up, and he was going to keep the Lakers.
Right.
The reason he didn't get the Cowboys is his lifestyle. He was shamed for being a playboy, and they wouldn't sell it.
Now it's a different era.
Yeah.
Different era.
Now, of course, nobody would care.
Yeah, now but nobody would care. So... Have they gotten to the point where Jeanie overthrows Jim and takes control?
It's coming.
Oh,
and you can tell.
That's what I want to see.
It's in the open. You know, like there is a battle for control of the Lakers, and there have already been some interviews where they've asked Jim about Jeanie and Jeanie about Jim, and they're not holding anything back.
But here you see them.
Yeah, not together. They're interviewed
right,
separately.
and I think Ramona told me Jim sat for 3 long interview sessions for the miniseries.
All the kids, all 6 kids are in Legacy. So you'll hear from Jeanie, who I'm friends with Jeanie. She
runs the Lakers charity foundation, right?
Yeah, and she comes off great.
Yeah.
Looks great, sounds great.
She's a great person, yeah.
Yeah, so and Jeanie comes off really well. I mean, I think if you're like a lot of people, we had a discussion while you were gone. If you had to pick one, like you could only watch Winning Time or Legacy, what do you want? And it's actually a disguised question. Would you rather watch an authorized biography or that has all the people who lived it in it, or an unauthorized biography which might, portray people in not a perfect light? So it's a hard decision.
Well, I
would watch Legacy simply because I can tell already that they're not holding back. Like Pat Riley was incredibly candid. And you actually hear from, instead of hearing from Adrian Brody and John C. Riley and those guys, you actually hear from Pat Riley, from Dr. Buss, from Jeanie. You hear from all the principals. But it's hard. They're both good. I'm going to watch them both.
They're both good. In terms of entertainment, the Winning Time show is more entertaining.
I think it helped that they got there first.
Yes, and Legacy, I think, is more like historical. So they're kind of that's a catalog of what has happened in the last whatever number of years, and Winning Time is just a shorter chapter of really outrageous characters having fun.
Right. And what would it be like if somebody got control of the script and had no rules?
Right.
Where they can make stuff up and they can curl Jerry West up in his underwear on the floor and
Sure.
But this is like, I didn't know that Jerry West and Pat Riley, who were really good friends when they played together on the Lakers and won the title in '72, basically had a falling out. In the last episode, Jerry West talks about it. He goes, when Pat Riley started getting success and was on the cover of GQ,
right,
and started, doing talk shows and selling books, I didn't even recognize that guy. He goes, his head got too big. That's why he's not coaching us anymore. And Pat admits it. He goes, yeah, it's true. He goes, I got eaten up by fame.
That seems to have worked out for him.
Yeah. Well, he's a great coach.
Yeah, he's a great coach and a great executive.
But he lost the room when he prioritized other stuff.
Interesting.
And is what Pat says.
Yeah.
But it's good. And you get to hear directly from Kareem's in it, Worthy's in it. They go into the whole, I've told the story in the air before, but I've never heard them talk about it, that Dr. Buss traded Worthy to Dallas.
Really?
And didn't tell anybody. For Mark Aguirre and Roy Tarpley. So he calls Jerry West on the phone and says, hey, I made a trade. Jerry West said, you made a trade? You've never made a trade. What are you talking about? He goes, I was with Donald Carter, the owner of the Mavericks, and I got us Mark Aguirre and Roy Tarpley for James Worthy. And Jerry West said, Dr. Buss, if you make that trade, I have to retire.
Really?
That's the worst trade I've ever heard. That's terrible. James Worthy's a way better player than either one of those guys. And Dr. Buss goes, well, the deal's done.
How do you undo that?
So the story goes that when Jerry West threatened to retire, Dr. Buss called Donald Carter back and said, I know we shook on it. I know we made a deal. But if I go through with this, my general manager, Jerry West, one of the famous guys in the league, is going to quit. And I don't want to lose him. Would you consider letting me out of the deal? And he says, because you came to me that way in friendship, I'll let you out.
Wow.
And the deal was canceled. And Worthy...
Talk about sliding doors, man.
Right.
What happens if Worthy gets traded?
A reporter got to Worthy and said, you've been traded to Dallas. And Worthy said, I don't know what management's doing. Nobody's talking to me. He goes, I haven't heard this. You're the first person that's told me that. Management is just in a fog. They're lost. I don't know what those guys are up to. So Dr. Buss calls Worthy, goes, James, I want to see you in my office. And Worthy thought he was going up there to have Dr. Buss apologize for trading him. And he tells him to sit down, and he says, James, when you say the word management to a reporter, I just want you to know you're talking about me. You're insulting me. And James Worthy, who's kind of like, was risen with strict parents, goes,
sure.
Yes, sir. He said, never, ever criticize Dr. Buss about anything after that again. He said,
wow.
After that, we were straight.
Yeah.
He goes, and this is a business. I don't think I'm ever going to trade you. This didn't happen, but if we do, we do, and it's a business. And Worthy said, I understand. Thanks for having me up. Said, never had an argument with him for the rest of his life.
Wow. Wow.
So Dr. Buss knew when to push buttons.
Sure. All right, coming up next for you, going to do the, Adam Schefter's pitching something disgusting, but but I actually I want to defend Schefter a little bit.
Okay.
And Jeanie Buss did an exclusive interview with Sam Amick from The Athletic. Got some highlights from that coming up for you, too. And that Donovan Mitchell wrinkle that you're talking about, John.
Yeah.
We'll get to that coming up, too. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN. right, it's Tuesday here. Mason, Ireland, thanks for listening. So, Adam Schefter went on his social media yesterday, and he pitched a brand new product. And I want to play exactly what Adam Schefter said. Listen, it's short. Listen to this.
Just in, Papa John's Football Pizza, now available nationally, Monday, August 29th. Football Pizza with Papa John's signature pepperoni, just in time for football season.
Now, let me see if I can describe. This is a football-shaped piece of dough.
Right. It's a pizza shaped like a football.
But it's like filled with pepper. There's so much pepperoni on it.
Yeah.
Looks absolutely disgusting.
I do not agree with most of the media reports.
I think it's disgusting. I think it's disgusting.
Most people thought it looked absolutely disgusting. I thought it looked like a pizza.
Now, I'll say this. Do you think this is like paid?
Oh,
do you think
100%?
So, have you ever sold one of your posts?
No.
Have you ever sold a post?
No, but I would not be adverse to it.
Yeah.
Let me see. I mean, what are my
Are we allowed to do that? Sell posts on our social media?
I would think.
It's your social media.
It is our social media. It is my social media.
Okay, so...
But why does this look disgusting? That's what pizzas normally look like.
No,
with
it's
a lot of
not that much pepperoni. Not that.
No,
that's
I mean,
way too much.
That is normal.
That is not normal.
There
that
are
is
plenty
nothing
of places
but pepperoni.
that have that much pepperoni on pizza.
Wrong.
Yeah, I have
Meat lovers,
128,000 followers. I should be able to sell something. What could I sell?
Ascots. Pocket squares.
Oh, that's excellent.
Pocket squares.
Well, that's more Sedano. The pocket square is Sedano.
Well, wait a minute. Ireland's been wearing pocket squares
How
since
old
the
are you?
beginning of time.
I was wearing pocket squares when Sedano
When was the last
10.
time you wore a pocket square?
The last time I wore a suit.
Yeah,
whatever
don't
that
you
was.
wear one every time you do a game?
Yeah. Look, in that thing right there.
Yeah,
I'm wearing
that
a pocket
thing, there's a
square.
pocket
But there's
square.
no there's nothing to that. That's just a straight pocket square, white.
So what?
Not a lot going on there.
No, it's
one's
a
going to buy
pocket
a
square.
random
I want
white
to
pocket
defend
square.
Ireland. Of course you do. That is the color of the shirt.
Yeah,
he's
that's
matching
by the way,
the
that's
shirt
a
with the
purple
pocket square.
Are you
Is it-
colorblind?
Maybe a little bit. This is also very far away from my face.
Yeah,
It's not
that's
right
true.
there.
Tell you what,
I would if someone would like me to post something about their product, I'm available for hire. I'm
Really?
like Adam Schefter. Yes. If Papa, I don't want to promote Papa John. So isn't that the guy that he's
gone though?
He's shady.
Yeah,
he's
that guy
John.
left.
Papa John is the shady guy. John Schlatter is Papa John.
Right, but I don't think he has any association anymore with Papa John. I think they ran him off.
Why don't they change the name of it? Why is the
They're just
company
stuck.
still?
Now Shaq is like the spokesperson.
Oh, then I'll do it. I
for
love
Papa
Shaq.
John. Yeah, no, I would do it. The one thing I can't believe, I would definitely sell posts if. Now I use a particular dispensary now, but if there was a dispensary, that would be an ideal Mason sponsorship. Yes,
I'm I'm telling you a true story.
Yeah.
For the second time on Saturday, I went to a dispensary.
Get out of here.
Worthy found these drops. It's a tincture.
A tincture.
That's like a dropper.
Yep.
That it's called Lights Out. It's
Okay.
helping me sleep.
It is, and it's working?
Yeah. So I had to go buy more. Boy, do you get your stuff delivered or you go in?
I've done both.
Okay, so you know if you go in, there's like armed guards.
Yep.
You can only go in one at a time. They're very
Really?
Yeah, they're very nice. I went to this place over by LAX. They're very nice. I told them what I was looking for. They got it to me. You cannot use a credit card, which I didn't know.
No, you have to spend cash on
So I had
cannabis.
cash, and I bought my stuff that helps me sleep, and I left.
But they armed guards and
One at a
only
time.
one person. You're going to a Genki dispensary. That's a Genki dispensary. Like the dispensary I go to is like an Apple store. It's got all these
Now, do
products.
you go to
and it's like-
MedMen? That's the other one I've been to.
MedMen is
Which is
more
not
like
far
that.
by your house.
I go to Urban Markets, which is very similar to that, but a wider selection. It's not like a one at a time situation.
There's no armed guards there. There's armed guards at every dispensary.
I don't know. I didn't notice.
Yeah,
any
these
armed
guys.
guards.
Yeah,
by
they're
the-
always-
by the way,
always.
These guys were there, and they were making themselves
known.
Yeah, very odd. Like standing in front of the door.
But the one at a time thing makes it sound Genki.
There should be. I mean, look, you know how much cash is in those places?
Yeah, I know,
and
but
all the marijuana that's in
place,
there too.
The place I go to, there's like 7, 8, 9, 10 people
milling around in there.
milling around,
Yeah.
and probably 6 to 8 employees on top of that.
Yeah, but they were. But the great thing was how efficient they were.
Yeah.
I said, "Here's what I want." They said, "Great. How you paying?" And I said, "Well, I can only use cash, right?" And they said, well, "Cash is good."
Yep.
But I didn't know there was an alternative. They're all
No,
Could I have written them a check? I guess I don't know.
Bitcoin?
Maybe I don't know. And I paid, and I was out of there in 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's good.
Hey, let me ask you guys something. You know how when you go to a baseball game or any game, any sporting event?
Oh, by the way, if you're a dispensary and you want me to sponsor you, I'll definitely do it. Or them sponsor me, whatever.
Yeah, however it works.
Yeah, DM me.
Okay, so you know how you can put – I did this for my mom last year when she went to the Angel game.
Yeah.
You can put a message up on the scoreboard.
That's very nice.
All right, so when the Dodgers were in Milwaukee recently,
Okay.
they were putting messages up on the scoreboard. The Brewers Community Foundation. Messages like this. Happy anniversary, Mike and Ron Lee. Good luck on the big race, Scott.
Okay.
Okay? Happy birthday, Mel, from Cody. Okay?
Yeah, nice.
Then this message.
Okay.
And I want you guys to tell me if this is exactly what I think it is or if I'm not thinking this through.
Okay.
Mark, your friendship means the world to me. Let's not wreck it.
Ooh.
That's a girl putting a guy in the friend zone.
Sure
right?
it is.
Big time. But
Gotta-
like in front of everybody?
Gotta
friend
be
zone.
right. Why would you do that? That was my question, Greg. Why would you do that publicly? And now, by the way, it is not signed by anyone, so Mark knows who this is from.
Right.
But none
So
of
this
us.
is just Mark sitting there being like, oh,
This is
man.
Mark
Wait a minute.
at the game, I'm assuming with her.
Yes.
Teresa's not
and
into
she
me.
says,
Don't wreck things.
Hey, look at the scoreboard. And on the scoreboard, it says, Mark, your friendship means the world to me. Let's not wreck it.
What if there's somebody else, though, that's in a relationship and it's somebody, or like friendship, and it's Mark and somebody else, not the one that it's meant for?
Yeah,
So all the marks,
all
would
the
have
marks
this
that are
issue?
there.
Every single
Every
mark,
mark.
will look at that and say, "Wait a minute."
I really like her.
yeah. Your friendship is, by the way, this is an old When Harry Met Sally thing. When Mark gets a girl who doesn't want to put him in the friend zone, this friendship is over. If Mark has romantic interest in this girl, or it could be a guy, who knows, and she doesn't want anything to do with him, she wants them to be friends.
Right.
Let's not wreck it. She just wrecked it.
Okay,
Didn't
but
she?
wait a minute. Okay, so I'll tell
Didn't
you.
she just wreck it?
Tell you a story. So even if you're in the friend zone,
Yeah.
you should never give up. So, for example, I was in the friend zone with my high school girlfriend for like a year and a half. And then the last year of my senior year, finally, I was able to get
past the friend zone.
Get past the friend zone, yeah.
Yeah. So when I was in college, you're in a fraternity. Did you have big sisters and big brothers?
Yeah, we had a little, I think
yeah.
we called them little sisters,
So
right?
my big sister had a huge crush on this guy in the fraternity, and or other way around. He had a big crush on her, and he kept asking her. She's like, nope. Kept putting him in the friend zone.
Yeah.
Kept putting him in the friend zone. She's like, I don't feel that way about him. I go, okay, you know what? So then one day, like you're saying, it switched. Like she said, okay, now I'm into it. It was too late. He had moved on to another girl.
So you had what fraternity were you in?
Sigma Chi.
And so we called them little sisters. We called them the Golden Hearts.
Yeah, we had little sisters. I was.
Who the hell were the big sisters?
Well, you could be a big sister or a little sister.
Oh, okay, got it.
You got assigned to somebody. So when I was a freshman, a girl who was a sophomore in the Kappa house was my big sister, and I liked her so much we just stayed that way for the whole time I was in college.
Right.
Till she graduated. But I had a little sister too. I was also little sister fine chairman.
What's that?
If you hook up with your little sister, 10-cent fine.
Oh.
Really going on a
10-cent
tough there,
fine,
huh?
Bergman.
10 cents.
Make out with your little sister.
10 cents.
10 cents. Yeah. But that's cold to put that guy in the friend
It
zone
really
on a
is. It really is.
scoreboard, isn't it?
That's rough.
That's
rough.
ridiculous.
So I got a tweet yesterday. It's from @OK_Benjamin.
Hi, @OK_Benjamin.
Obviously out of Twitter handles. So he says, I love the story about the Lakers maybe being in the Donovan Mitchell trade. I wanted to call, but you guys didn't take any. Bergman sucks. Why does he hate callers? We're part of the show, too. Bergman, respond.
We didn't ask for phone calls, otherwise I would have answered.
Right. Now, do you have a fundamental issue with phone calls?
A fundamental? I don't like most phone calls, but I don't have a problem with them. Like, I don't think they're necessary all the time. I think what you guys are saying is more important than what Joe and Glendale said.
Right, but we sit and ramble all day long.
Right. So we can take phone
by
calls.
the way,
If you
let's
say-
talk
let's
about
that Donovan Mitchell thing.
aspect
Yeah,
of that.
because then we will give you a chance.
So Donovan Mitchell is from New York.
Yep.
He's a 3-time All-Star. He's 25 years old.
Great player.
Underrated. Everybody loves him. The Knicks and the Jazz have been working on a trade for about a month. It was reportedly getting close. But Danny Ainge is now running the Jazz, and apparently he was just asking for the moon.
Right.
And so the Knicks told him, you have until Monday, meaning yesterday, to come to terms with us on a trade, or we're moving on. So Danny Ainge didn't change his offer, and yesterday the Knicks extended R.J. Barrett. They gave him $100 million. And R.J. Barrett now also has a poison pill in his deal that restricts when he can be traded and how he can. It can still happen,
right?
But the Jazz just made it harder on themselves to get a deal done because they wouldn't meet the Knicks deadline.
Does that mean the Knicks would go over the salary? They couldn't do it because they'd go over the salary cap?
No. The Knicks are fine. The Jazz want to rebuild. They didn't
right.
Want
I know. They're clearing out. They're clearing the decks.
They didn't want to trade for a guy with a $100 million contract, but that's the guy they wanted.
That's the guy they wanted, and now they
so
signed
Shams
to do a big
is
deal.
reporting today that he still could be a part. R.J. Barrett still could be a part of a deal, but he's just harder to trade now. The Knicks, according to Shams, the most recent offer for Donovan Mitchell, including Barrett and 2 unprotected first-round picks. Which is a pretty good deal for Utah.
Yeah, that's good deal.
But apparently they want more.
But
so that's why a lot of people say the Lakers could get involved.
Right. The idea would be that the Lakers would be the third team, throw in 2 number ones for Danny Ainge, and wind up coming away with Bojan Bogdanovic and Evan Fournier.
Or Bojan Bogdanovic and Jordan Clarkson, some
combination
of players. And that Russ would go out.
Yeah, he'd go to Utah.
But now it's just that story yesterday.
He makes so much sense for Utah, though.
Who?
Westbrook.
Why?
Because then they're not going to win this year anyway.
Right.
It's pointless. They're just collecting draft picks, and you got a $47 million cap clearance next year.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense from Danny Ainge's perspective in Utah.
Yeah, we'll see if it all comes together. But I don't know what it is, Mace. I just got a feeling Russ is going to be there.
I think he's gone. There's too much talk
on media day.
I think he's gone.
Bergman, are we doing media day?
No, I think probably Travis and
Sleep probably. It's probably in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Normally by 1 o'clock the whole thing's over.
Yeah. But I think Westbrook's not going to be there for media today.
Huh. I would bet you mythical money, but the Lakers will get mad.
Well, I bet mythical money both that Westbrook will be and won't be on the roster. I hedged.
$35K.
I hedged.
Yeah, I think he will be there.
I think he won't.
But we'll see.
Yeah, I think he won't. The one thing, did you see Jeanie Buss talk to Sam Amick?
Love Sam Amick.
Yeah, he's a great reporter. And here's my question. So we'll talk about some of the stuff she says, but why is Jeanie not coming on our show?
We've been over this. You really want me to tell you?
Yeah,
do you want me to say it again?
I want you to say it again because
because you said she should sell the team and Rob Pelinka is an empty suit, and we put it in a promo.
But we say all kinds of stuff, and it's just
they
water
were
under the
by
bridge.
it.
It's just water under the bridge.
Not to them.
Just move along.
Yeah, not to them.
Just keep moving.
No.
Stick and go. Let's go.
Yeah, that's how we feel. That's not how they feel.
So is it me specifically?
You're one of the people she does not want to talk to. Yeah.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Well,
I'm a totally nice guy.
Then why did you say she should sell the team?
By the way, my last interaction with Jeanie was at the Lakers-Bucks game right before the pandemic. Could not have been nicer. Mm-hmm. Totally cordial and friendly and all that stuff. And I thought, all right, so we're making progress. But still.
Did you ask her to come on the show?
I said, we got to catch up. We got to catch up.
I got an idea.
Well, what is it?
Write her an apology letter.
Write it?
Yes.
A handwritten letter.
Exactly.
Jorge, that is genius.
That's what you do.
That is genius. John, do you think it would work?
I think it couldn't hurt.
Yeah, it can't hurt.
Yeah.
I would do it. All right.
Work on that.
Coming up next for you, some of the details from the article Jeanie did with Sam Amick. We got that coming up for you. Plus, Keyshawn, not a fan of Mac Jones, the New England quarterback. We got that coming up for you, too.
He chose to attack something that has nothing to do with Mac Jones. I'm offended by Key's take.
There you go. We'll do it coming up next. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Okay, everybody.
The Lakers, how long is it till Media Day? We're just a few weeks away,
September
right?
26th.
Coming fast. So Jeanie Buss spoke to Sam Amick, not to Steve Mason. Sean Ireland here. Although I am working on a Dear Jeanie letter.
Okay, good.
I'm going to try that.
Good.
So Jeanie says, and the interview is ostensibly about the miniseries. Legacy. Yeah,
okay.
Legacy on Hulu. So
got it.
Jeanie says, I feel like we have been an open book. There's nothing we're hiding, and we can tell the stories so that people can have a context and know where everybody came in and at what point. I think there are people that don't realize I have two younger brothers. John, you know. They hear about my two older brothers, Jim and Johnny, just because of the situations that took place with them over the years. But I have two younger brothers, and we meet them.
Right.
And the younger brothers are Joey.
Joey, who is in charge of the South Bay Lakers.
Yep.
And Jesse, who is in the scouting department, basically directs the scouting department at this point.
Now, have they been in the miniseries yet? You're further along. Okay.
Yeah, everybody's been in it.
Everybody's been in it.
All the kids. All 6 kids. You have heard from all 6 kids at this point. I'm through 4 episodes.
And how many are there?
10.
10 episodes. Wow. They're covering everything.
Produced and directed by Antoine Fuqua.
Who did
Training Day.
Training
with
Day,
Denzel.
yeah. Great director.
Yeah, among other things.
Great director.
Yeah.
All right, so she talked about Magic Johnson and Phil Jackson. She says, when I lean on Magic Johnson, when I lean on Phil Jackson, that advice that I'm getting is for my decision-making process. It's not that Magic is making a decision on who we're going to hire as coach. It's not that Phil is telling me who to hire as coach. It's talking about process, talking about experience, what happened when you approached a problem like this. There are just people that she trusts. Everybody has them. Those people in your life that you trust, you believe in, that you know are going to give you a straight answer. That is sort of what we've come to know over the last few years.
And that circle of trust is pretty small.
Yeah, it is.
I think that it extends out beyond certainly what I know and what everybody knows, but I think Jeannie's immediate circle of trust is Rob.
Yes, Rob Pelinka.
Kurt and Linda Rambis.
Yep.
Magic and Phil.
Those are the ones we know about.
Right. I think those are the opinions that she values and trusts to tell her the truth.
Right.
I'm sure there are outside influences that
Sure,
come into it that I don't know about.
There could be other people she's talking to, all that
could
kind of
be
stuff.
other people in the organization.
Right.
You know, that she leans on.
And see,
but for basketball decisions, I think those are the people that she trusts.
And I think ultimately any good business is about collaboration. And that's really what she's doing. She's collaborating. She's the decider, right? She makes the final decision. But she's collaborating with other people who are giving her information and, as she says, shooting straight.
Well, and she has a pretty broad portfolio, too. I mean, we're talking about the basketball decisions in this conversation. She has she runs the business side, too.
Yep.
So, where she leans heavily on Tim Harris, who's my boss.
Yep.
And other people that run the business side. So I think that people, and this is probably what she's talking about with Sam, I think that people assume that others are telling Jeanie what to do and like who to hire, and that's not the way it works. She solicits opinions and then
makes a decision. Right.
It's, for lack of a better term, it's kind of presidential. It's what you do if you're running a governor or if you're a president, where you just
she's literally a governor.
Yeah, it's like you're talking to people and then you make the best decision you can,
right,
based on who you trust.
She was asked about Westbrook, and she said, and she clarified this. I'll read it as it is, then I'll clarify it. She said, all I can say is that from my point of view, Westbrook was our best player last year. He played pretty much every single game, showed up, worked hard. I would have loved to have seen this team, what they would have done if they had stayed healthy. Now, she went back and clarified. She just means Westbrook played the most games. He played 78 games.
78 of 82.
He did show up to play. That's to his credit. And she also talked about Darvin Ham and said that his presence overwhelmed her and his confidence in feeling that he was going to be the right guy for this job was the moment she met him, was that his presence. And that's one thing I noticed from the introductory press conference is that Darvin Ham does have a presence. He's got an outsized presence. He was the biggest person on the stage in terms of personality and charisma. I think the Lakers are in really good hands with Darvin Ham. He seems like he's going to be absolutely in charge.
One of his mantras is facts, not feelings. So if you're shooting 25% from three,
right,
and you're continuing to come down and shoot threes, and he says, look, that's a low percentage shot from us. Stop doing that.
Right.
If you keep shooting, you're probably coming out.
Yep. And he's been given license to do that.
Right. Whereas Frank, I always felt like Frank Vogel, who I like a lot, was in a political battle.
Right,
like,
where he had to be more deferential.
Right. So I think hopefully that part of it is over, and Darvin will be able to kind of shape the team and do what he wants without having to worry about political fallout.
Right.
And it sounds like they're there.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So you can check that out, by the way, on The Athletic. All right, so Keyshawn Johnson from our morning show. The Keyshawn Morning Show, our friend Key, is a good – I think he's a pretty good quarterback evaluator. I think he kind of knows –
Well, he was a wide receiver.
Yeah, he's a wide receiver, so he knows what
and
he's
he's
looking
also a very good cook, right, Jorge?
An excellent cook.
Excellent cook, yes.
Yeah, so he
Really
knows
good.
he knows
He's
food.
a chef, yeah.
But one of my favorite foods is macaroni and cheese.
Yes.
Same here.
So when they asked Key about Mac Jones and he went the direction he went, I was somewhat offended, not for Mac Jones, but for mac and cheese. Listen to this.
Mac Jones, this preseason to me, looked like bad macaroni and cheese with breadcrumbs on top. I mean, it just for whatever reason, and I don't know if it's Matt Patricia and Joe Judge, or it's just the offensive line, or it's the play calling, or whatever the case, or he's not seeing it clean. But he looks like a guy that belonged in the fourth round, opposed to the guy that we saw last year help his team at times get into the playoffs when he was helping his
So there you have that. So he's not a big Mac Jones fan.
He ripped it again.
Oh,
You
did he?
jumped
I
out
missed
too early.
it. So twice he ripped macaroni and cheese?
Why are first of all, macaroni and cheese with breadcrumbs on top is excellent.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, why, Jorge? Why attack mac and cheese?
I have no idea, but he went to the wrong dish.
You know what's weird about macaroni and cheese?
It's a lot like attacking like ice cream or chicken fingers. Everybody likes that stuff.
My favorite mac and cheese is still the Kraft out of the box.
It's excellent.
With like the stick of butter and the powdered orange.
Could eat it 3 times a week.
So good.
Equally good hot
Reminds me
and
of being
cold.
a kid. Reminds me of being a kid.
It's great.
It's like kid food.
So, Key, what's up, man? Why you bet? I mean, you want to rip Mac Jones? Go ahead, rip Mac Jones. But mac and cheese, come on.
Yeah, lay off mac and cheese. I agree. I'm with you. All right, so Joe Rogan. You know Joe.
Yeah.
He's like this gigantic. By the way, why do you think he gets every single big name guest?
Well, he doesn't get every single big name guest, but he gets the guests that are fans of his.
So, like, he had Zuckerberg on this week. He had Aaron Rodgers on. I actually have clips from Aaron Rodgers on there. Do you listen to the Rogan podcast?
Sometimes. I subscribe to it.
I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. He's got some controversial stuff, but Bergman, do you listen to it?
Nope, I do not listen to that.
You do not. Jorge,
nope.
no.
Thank you.
Yeah,
No.
Lindsay Fulton
Loves
swears
man.
by it.
Lindsay loves the guy.
I don't listen to a lot of podcasts.
I do.
You don't listen to a lot of podcasts?
No.
You should try the Mason and Ireland podcast.
Only
It's
Culture
excellent.
Pop.
The Mason
Only
Island
Culture Pop. Jorge answered it right. Only Culture Pop.
I'm out.
He had Aaron Rodgers. Actually, we'll do this coming up next.
Lindsay said it here again.
I caught it.
He had,
Excited. Glad you did.
He had Aaron Rodgers on the show, and I got some stuff from that coming up next for you. Then we got Bobcat, Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN. Let me tell you about my friend. Injured in a car accident, should you just hire your friend's relative who had helped your third cousin fight a traffic ticket last year? No.
Hell no.
You got to hire an expert in his field. If you're injured in an auto accident of any kind, call my friend Jacob, 844-24-JACOB. For more than 25 years, Jacob has handled all kinds of vehicle cases. Car, truck, motorcycle, rideshare, scooter, you name it. Jacob has handled them all, and Jacob and his team will not settle for a lowball offer from the insurance company. Plus, with Jacob, you never pay a penny out of pocket, so your car gets fixed, you see a doctor, you get back on track without a penny out of pocket. A lot of attorneys say they'll fight for you. Call Jacob. He will win for you. 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. 844-24-JACOB. Or remember,
accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
CallJacob.com. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.